What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to my next Let's Play. As you know, last time I completed No One Lives Forever, and I said that the next game that I'm going to be doing is Contract Jack, the next game in the series. Well, chronologically, it's the next game in the series. Technically, it's the third game to be released, and is more of a spin-off than an actual sequel or prequel or whatever. Although, as I've said several times before, this does kind of loosely bridge the gap between the two games. There are certain things that are showed happening that you sort of don't really see. They're just kind of just happened, kind of just there in the next game. And I'll be pointing those out as they happen. But yeah, so Contract Jack, as you can see, Jack is an acronym. Well, it's kind of a double meaning actually, because the main character, as seen right here in the scope, his name is John Jack, and the second meaning, as I've already pointed out, since this is an acronym, as evident by these dots, Jack actually stands for Just Another Contract Killer. So you actually work not as a spy, but as an assassin. And as a far cry from the other two games in the series, although all three games are shooters, the first and second games are, since you're playing as a spy, they actually have sort of, spy-ish. Well, obviously you have spy gadgets, and, you have moments where you have to be stealthy and whatnot. This game is straight up run and gun. There is no stealth involved in this game. It's a straight up shooter. Nothing but murder left and right. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, even if the other games are, have one style and this game is a different style. That does not necessarily mean it's a bad game, just because it's a completely different style from the other games in the series. But, anyway, yeah, so let's start the game, and obviously, just as with the first game, I have not played this game whatsoever. I did watch a Let's Play of it before. Well, a playthrough, not really a Let's Play, but other than just seeing the game once, I have not experienced this game in any way. So, this will basically be kind of, I guess, semi-blind in a way, if you want to call it that, since, again, I haven't played it. I've only seen it. So the fact that I did see it sort of means that it's not really blind, but I've only seen it once, so I guess whatever. Anyway, let's just go ahead and start the game. Yes, you have 4 difficulty settings: easy, normal, hard, and impossible. But as always, I'll be playing on normal because, well, there's really no reason to be showing off and playing on the harder difficulties. And, well, who plays on easy anymore, right? Chapter 1, The Proposition. The last thing I recommended was cheap whiskey, the last thing I remembered was cheap whiskey and cheaper perfume. I think she said her name was Candy. I wasn't really paying attention, I just didn't want to drink alone. That was my second mistake. The first was renting a flat upstairs from the drunken Scotsman. Idling in a dull, throbbing semi-consciousness, that's quite descriptive. I knew I was in for a rude awakening, but an apocalyptic hangover wouldn't be the worst of my problems.
Wake him up.
Hey, asshole, wake up.
Not like that. What are you, his mother? Slap him or something. Good morning, ass-face.
Actually it's, 7 p.m., so, technically it ain't morning, per se.
Shut your hole before I shovel dirt in it, Marvin. It's a figure of speech.
Sorry.
Now where was I? Oh yeah, raining on your parade. My boss has a message for you.
Good evening. This is Louis Franco, your chief competitor. Sorry I can't be there in person, but my aunt just went to the hospital with a herniated disc. Poor old broad. Anyways, the reason my boys got you all tied up in that chair is because you've been cutting into my business. I don't have to tell you how tough it is to make a living as a criminal these days with the economy and all. There just ain't a lot of room for professional hitmen like ourselves, so you're retiring early. Boys, you know what to do. Make sure the son of a bitch suffers.
Sorry, fella. Nothing personal. Marvin, give me the chainsaw.
Kill him!
Open the door! I said open it! Alright, you asked for it!
Die, sucker!
Nobody messes with John Jack, you sons of bitches. That's right. So, as you can see, the HUD is completely and utterly different from the previous game. And it actually uses the same, pretty much everything, all the layouts and all the guns, well, except for certain guns that you don't actually, that you never use in NOLF Forever 2. So there are some unique guns, but this game does share some of the guns from NOLF 2, and they are pretty much, most of the things in this game are exactly identical to NOLF Forever 2.
Close in!
Yeah, so, as you can see, well, actually the health and the armor aren't exactly that drastically different between the two games. They're pretty much the same, except slightly bigger. And there's still red means health, blue means armor. But other things are pretty much different. Like, for instance, this time around you actually have a compass, which drastically changes the way the game plays, because well, now you won't get lost. If you guys recall how often I got lost in the first game, I would spend probably like 10-20 minutes sometimes on a single part trying to figure out where it is that I have to go. Well, not this time around. Now you have a compass, so you know exactly where to go. And you also may notice on the top left corner, you may notice a pencil and paper tab, or icon, in the top left corner. Those are your objectives. And as you can see, our only objective is get to your car and escape. And this is what I was talking about, the bandages. I know you've seen them in the first game, but they weren't really as prominent in that game as they are here. So, this game actually has quite a lot of these first aid bandages. And if you remember, that's basically the health. Obviously the armor is armor, and the bandages are your health. So, it's actually quite... I mean, I really wouldn't say that it's it's more easier, this game. It is definitely probably easier than the first game. Just because, I mean, before you had to be really, really conscious about your health. In this game, and in the sequel, you really don't have to be that conscious because, well, there's health around, plenty of it. So, even if you're low in health, you're not necessarily always guaranteed to have health, but much more so in this game and in this next game than there is in the first game. So you don't really have to be as conscious about your health as the previous game.